It's time to awaken your inner goddess and co-create magic with the universe. Hello everyone, Kara Melendi here from spiritualgoddesses.com, sharing some updates on retrograde season and why this is a key component in your manifesting process. We often hear about Mercury retrogrades, that comes into our awareness, but right now there's actually 6 planets that are retrograding plus Chiron, and the universe is working to support us during this time. And I really want to kind of add a twist to retrograde season and help you understand the value that it offers us in our manifestational journey. So as you join me, definitely say hi below so I can say hi back. So we got Cynthia, Samantha, Karen, Katrina. Welcome, beautiful goddesses. Also feel free to share this out so we can get this information out there on retrograde season, because it's actually going to wrap up this not this Sunday. Mercury goes direct on Sunday, but by the end of August we're going to be out of retrograde season. So this is kind of a reflection on some of the changes that may have been occurring during your life at this time. And I know from the readings I've been doing with people, there's a lot of processing that's happening internally. There's a lot of shadow work. There's a lot of revisiting themes from the past, old mindsets, old beliefs, even old relationships. So I want to help you understand the role that this may be playing in your life, and how when these planets begin to move direct again, you can really take these lessons and move forward with them. Hi Karen, how are you, goddess? I'm going to get back to you, Karen, about your chart. I'm excited to have a look at that. Rita, hello, and Teresa, Lori, welcome. Ashley, hi Betsy. Oh, we got Lori here as well. Awesome, welcome, welcome. So if you are new to me, my name is Kara Melendi, goddess mentor, astrologer, also certified in the Akashic Records. So I'm definitely multi-passionate, and I love helping you master manifestation, co-create magic with the universe. So with that being said, let's take a look at retrograde season. So basically, retrogrades in general are a time to go within. They're a time to bring awareness to what you already have going on in your life, as opposed to starting new projects or moving forward with something new. They're this invitation from the universe to look at what is already in front of you, or even revisiting old projects and wrapping up certain things. And each of the planets retrograding signifies something different. So there's always a different storyline with each of the planets. And then even more importantly is how it is personally affecting our chart. And that's why we can all respond differently to these energies. And there's a couple specifically that I want to look at today, which is Mercury retrograding in Leo, which is going direct on Sunday, and also the Mars retrograde and the role that's been playing. And Mars is going to go direct on August 27th. So how this relates to manifestation is, when we're manifesting, it's so key that we get our energy in alignment, and that we are able to really take the time to go within and see what feels right for us. Because when our focus is so external and we're looking at the people around us, we're looking at what's happening around us, there's confusion that comes into play, because everyone has their own opinions, everyone is making their own suggestions on what you need to do to move forward, and it can lead to a lot of confusion. And I see this often with spiritual entrepreneurs that I'm working with, where there's different advice depending on who they're listening to, and it can just get really confusing to know, what is my heart saying, what is my soul saying, and where am I being guided at this time? So retrogrades are this invitation to go within and remember that you have the answers within you. And I know for myself, this is where I'll get so many ideas when I take the time to either open up the Akashic Records and be in that space, or do my daily meditation. This is where new creative ideas come in. And this is where I can also open up to connecting to my higher self, or my cosmic team, so my angels, guides, and the Ascended Masters, and really be in the energy and ask the question of, what is the universe trying to express through me? What am I meant to bring forward? And when we do that, we really come from this place of being in our own unique energy and saying things in our own way. And that is so important because we are all here to bring a specific message forward. And it's only through going inward and connecting with our heart, connecting with our soul, that we can really hear our intuition speak to us, and we can start to bring that message forward into the world. So retrogrades are asking you to slow down a little bit and go within. And I think can be resistance to this for many different reasons. One is that we feel we always need to be in action mode and we need to be producing. And if we're very ambitious people and we have a lot of goals, we can even have a sense of guilt if we feel we're not always taking action and we're not moving forward. So what's been helpful for me is understanding that the energy work is so key in this process. It's so important. More important than any action we take is energetic alignment first. So are we energetically aligned? Because our energy speaks so much louder than our words. So even though it may not look like on the surface that we're moving forward or we're making the progress that we want, if we are taking the time to do the inner work, then there is a lot going on under the surface that is going to help you show up in a different way, that's going to tune you to a different frequency, a different vibration, and then you're attracting new things into your experience. So don't feel that just because you may not be in a place of putting a lot of action out into the world that you're not manifesting, because it always begins with the energy. So let me know if this resonates. Also feel free to ask any questions around this idea of manifestation or retrogrades. I'm definitely open to answering them. All right, let me scroll down here. Good morning, Kira. How are you? And Bonnie and Amy and Crystal. Welcome, Goddess. And Jess is on there. Hi, Jess. How are you? I hope to see you this weekend. I'm hoping to have a chance to see you and Brian. That would be awesome. All right, so definitely taking that time. And I checked in with the Akashic Records, which I like to do as well, to see if there's any messages coming through that are important for me to share and to pass on at this time around retrograde season. And something that I felt really strongly coming through was the importance of doing the shadow work at this time. Not even just the shadow work, but more looking at what am I maybe not seeing in my life that needs to be altered and needs to be changed. So this could be an old relationship that just may be toxic and not serving me anymore, that I'm really being called to release. It may be a habit, it may be a belief pattern that you know it's time to let go of, you know it's time to release. The retrograde energy is going to make that more aware. It make you more aware of that. So you may be feeling like a lot is coming to the surface and it may be feeling kind of overwhelming, but things are coming up to be healed and to be released, and to also be an invitation for you to now make a change now that you have this information. And this is especially true with Mercury retrograde. So this is a new twist on Mercury retrograde. So we know Mercury governs over communication, technology, local travel, our contracts, and that's why when it retrogrades, we may notice the change day to day, right? With like technological things going wrong, communication not going as smoothly, or we make a decision or plan during retrograde season, and then after we realize that I'm not really aligned with that. But the upside of Mercury retrograde is looking at old patterns, old belief systems, and really asking, is this serving me? And something that's been so huge for me lately, and I'm not sure where I heard this. I heard this somewhere, right? But it really resonated with me that every word we say, everything we speak is an affirmation. So be very aware of your words and what you are affirming, and really asking yourself is this something I want to attract? So if you're affirming that I don't feel well, or this isn't working out for me, or I'm struggling financially, see that as an affirmation and ask yourself, is this what I want to affirm? Is this what I want to call into my experience? Or do I need to change my language around this? And Mercury does govern that communication, that language. And in retrograde, it is that opportunity to really examine that on a deeper level, those stories, those patterns, the words that we tell ourselves, the words that we speak, and especially in the sign of Leo, because Leo is the energy of self-expression. And I did kind of a whole video on Leo energy because that was our last eclipse, our last new moon was in Leo. And we also have Mercury retrograding in Leo. So it really is about looking at self-expression, how I'm showing up, and am I empowered empowering myself and others with my words, or what needs to be changed? So when you look at it like that and you trust that the universe always has your back, it's always supporting you, why would it be any different in retrograde season? It is all working for our advantage. It is all working for us if we choose to believe that. And that's where co-creation comes in. It's not about resisting these energies. It's about learning to surrender and learning to work with them. So I'm going to check for any questions here. Let me know if this is resonating. Thank you so much for the hearts. It's so encouraging. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's awesome, Jess. Looking forward to seeing you. We got Melissa. Hello, Goddess. Welcome. Jess, feel deeper wounds and healing being called forward lately. Big things coming. Yes. Well, and that reminds me of something else I want to talk about with retrograde as well. So we have 6 planets retrograding plus Chiron. So Chiron is technically an asteroid. Some people have upgraded it to be a mini planet because it's definitely very influential in our energy. And with Chiron retrograding right now in the sign of Aries, we really are looking at some of the shadow self and the deeper work, especially as it relates to self-esteem and self-expression. So that's really a theme that's emerging right now. And it's so interesting to see this come up in the readings I've been doing too, where people feel like they are second guessing themselves all of a sudden, or they're feeling like they're lacking self-esteem a little bit. And know that it's important to notice these things. Like, to deny them is denying a piece of ourselves, right? And that's the whole point of doing shadow work, is integrating it with love and realizing that we mainly attract from the subconscious level, from our vibration. So it's not about denying things, but it's also not about being stuck in an energy. So when you recognize an old pattern, you can then say, do I want to bring this forward? Is this now serving me? Or you can make the choice to now release it. And with the cosmic energies right now, you can release that quickly. And that's a beautiful thing that's happening with actually Jupiter and Scorpio right now, is we are able to release much more quickly than in the past. So I don't know if anyone else is feeling that or resonating with that, but we really have this opportunity to now see these patterns and say, it's time to let it go. I don't have to bring this forward. And we're knowing on even a deeper level that it's true. That if we decide that to be the case, we put that out there into the spiritual realm, that it can now be our experience. Crystal loves Mercury retrograde. Yes, yes. I have a whole new appreciation for it, because it is like, slow down. And that's part of the divine feminine energy too, is we, it's through going within that we connect to our creative power. And it's through slowing down that we often get even more done, because it's a chance to like recalibrate our energy, right? Okay, let me see this. Leah, I am literally flat on my back. Oh no. So you've had a few things come up. Vehicle broke down. Oh, well, I'm sending so much love to you. I know this has been challenging for many people during this time, and it's hard when those difficult things happen to see that there may be a blessing within it, or that there's something bigger opening up. But that's where it's so important we stay in trust and we stay in faith, that even in our most difficult times, the universe still has our back, and we are strong enough to rise above it. That's also what we're realizing with this Leo energy, right? We're still in Leo season right now, that we can transcend any limitation or challenge that comes our way. We are strong enough to rise above it. So important to remember. Hi, Donna. How are you, Goddess? Melissa loves her positive affirmations. Yes. Yeah, what we're affirming is so key, right? So important. Okay, I'm just scrolling down to see this. Donna, I love this slow piece of Mercury retrograde. Yeah, well, it can make us like more intuitive in our communication as well. Like people who have Mercury retrograde in their chart, so at the time of their birth, Mercury was retrograding, they tend to be really good at reflecting on things and not jumping into things too impulsively. And that's a lesson we learn from retrograde as well, is that I don't have to have it all done right away, right? Like I can think about this, I can see if it aligns, and then move forward with action. And action is such an important piece of manifestation. Like in my Goddess manifesting process, I talk about taking inspired action, because to take things from the spiritual realm into the physical, we do need to act, right? We do need to take action and get things moving. But there's also the time for the energy, and retrograde season is the time to align your energy before before taking the action, because it'll come from a completely different space if we take the time to do that, if we take the time to heal first and to look at what's coming up, to process what's coming up so we can show up differently, and leading from a place of like trusting your soul. And this is what I truly believe, is that we do have the answers within us, right? We are connected to the universe. We are so powerful, each and every one of us. And it's going inward to connect with that. And the more we do that, the easier it is for our intuition to guide us. It's like these practices are working with subtle energy. And it's important that we take the time to really listen to the different ways intuition can speak to us. And then from that space, if we are guided to contact someone, if we are guided to take a specific action, that's the time to do it. But to hear that guidance and to trust that it is in alignment, we first need to go within. And if we use retrograde season in that way, we can feel refreshed, we can feel recharged. Mercury retrograding in Leo, we can come out feeling more creative, having new creative ideas, but it's just being okay with slowing down. And let me know, does anyone else kind of have resistance to that, like slowing down? Because I say this and I share this, and it's something that I'm always working on as well, because there's a part of me that I think that my Aries rising, along with, maybe my sun in the 5th house, but that always wants to be in go mode and getting things done. And it's been a lesson. And the more I connect with the goddess energy, the more I connect with the divine feminine, I'm learning as well the importance of slowing down, and that even when it looks like we may not be taking physical action, there's so much happening under the surface as we honor that. And as we honor our body and we honor that time to like rest and recharge. Donna, I have been tapping my affirmations and mantras. Oh, I love tapping. Combining affirmations and tapping, so powerful. Always bring those two together and you can shift energy more quickly. Jennifer, my self-esteem is coming out of a long hibernation. I'm hoping this shift will help me fulfill my life purpose. I'm feeling excited, emotionally, mentally energized. I'm letting my body rest while my brain is hyper speed. My self-love is blowing up. Oh, that's beautiful, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. And what you were saying with the energy piece, I do want to talk about Mars retrograde too, because this was actually a big retrograde this year, is Mars, because it doesn't retrograde that often. Every 2 years it'll go retrograde, and it doesn't like to be retrograde, because Mars is that divine masculine of moving forward, of getting things done, taking action. That's what Mars likes to do. So when it retrogrades, it can be like we can still feel more energy internally, but that's what it is when planets retrograde, is it is going within. So with Mars retrograde, for some of us, it can trigger a lot of anger. It can trigger a lot of impulsiveness and frustration, but it can also trigger like this energy building up and this desire to move forward and be motivated. So when Mars goes direct on August 27th, this can really be a time where we're building momentum and we're moving forward really quickly with our manifestation, especially if you've taken that time to go within and really look at what motivates you, what drives you, all those things that Mars embodies. Really look at harnessing that in your life. Look at what you value. Look at what you're taking action on. Look at your daily habits. Mars retrograde is about reflecting on all of those things, and especially now that it's moved all the way back into Capricorn. So it wasn't Aquarius and now it's back in Capricorn. This can really make us aware of like what our goals are, what we're working on creating in our life, and where we are, in relevance to that. That's not the right word. I'm trying to say, what's the word I'm thinking? Where we are in like reference to that. So that's what it's evoking for us. That's what it's bringing up. And being aware of that, right? We can build so much momentum as we now move forward. So it's a powerful time. It's a powerful part of the process, and you can manifest so much during this retrograde season. Hey, Aislinn, how are you? Welcome. Melissa, yes, and take more time for ourselves. It's so important. It is so key. Hi, Alicia. Welcome, Goddess. All right, let me know if there's any more questions around this. Crystal, Mars retrograde was what brought chaos for myself, but it did allow me to clear some karma. Yes, It took me nearly a month to adapt to it. Yeah, well, it does. Mars retrograde is a big thing, and it can bring up a lot of karma. We also have Saturn retrograde, and Saturn does relate to karma in our life, and that's where it's been a theme as well, especially around karmic relationships, where people come into our life right now, we really have like a deep soul connection with, or soul contracts. And sometimes those soul contracts can be challenging, but it's coming up to allow us to do deeper levels of healing and really define for ourselves what we want in a relationship, what we need in a relationship. So thank you for mentioning that. It's very powerful. All right, so just to kind of sum this up, definitely take the time to go within, connect with your soul, do the inner work. Can be as little as 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day of meditation, of journaling, of simply sitting in silence and allowing your intuition to speak to you. And you can put that energy out into the universe. You can talk to your cosmic team and say, what is the next step for me? And when something feels expansive, something feels exciting, that's your key to follow that. If something feels like it's coming from fear and obligation, that's where you want to discard that. Every decision we make in life is either fear or love, and you can choose again and again, and it really is a choice we make moment to moment of I'm choosing love and I'm choosing to lead from love. So if you would like a private reading, you can message me right here on Facebook. I've opened up spots for this because I know so many of us are going through transformation right now, so I want to support you in any way that I can at this time. So when I do a reading, I can look and see how the cosmic energies are personally affecting your birth chart, and I give guidance on how you can work with this energy. So it's not just about what's happening, it's how can I now manifest with this energy, and I'll give you guidance on moving forward based on what is happening in the cosmos. All right, so thank you so much for hanging out today. Sending lots of love and light to you all, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.